Hello. Okay, main focus today is to really put across the idea that, or to get across, don't think of training at home as a downgrade from training at the gym. I mean, not to bash gyms, but I haven't been in a gym for a couple of years. I've got a little one in my garage, but ultimately, so I come from a gymnastics background, so it's something that gymnasts kind of intrinsically know, and it's sometimes difficult to explain why, but body weight training is, if anything, because people talk a lot about functional training, if anything, it's a superior form of training. I mean, in a small way I can explain, for example, if you think about running on a treadmill, so you're doing the work of going up and down, but the treadmill's actually moving you forward. So it's harder, people know it's harder to go on a run for the same distance and run 10k on a treadmill than do a 10k run, because you're actually projecting. Now that's not apples for apples, but it does give you the idea that the synergizing body weight, if you think about a gymnast's ability to control their complete body, is very beneficial. Okay, so what I want to do on this video is to get across a protocol of general fitness at home, how I would approach it, and then I'm going to break it down each day on a different muscle part. Starting today, I'm going to go to legs, describing how it would look for entry level, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and then I might even just post level 4, ultra advanced, maybe like look into some gymnastic movements and that type of thing, but maybe that's for another day. So, protocol would be, up in the morning before you do, first thing is your Wim Hof breathing, look him up, W-I-M-H-O-F, 2 words, do your Wim Hof breathing, but then before you've eaten, whenever that is in the morning, before you've eaten, I would do your workout. So you can do intermittent fasting, 16, 18 hours, up to 24 is good. Past that, a bit too much stress on the body makes you a little bit more susceptible. So I would suspend long-term fasting for now, but short-term fasting, good. So before you eat, away from the energy of food, you're going to do your workout. So music's going to play a big role. However, you've got your music set up, that just gets you going. So you're going to warm up. I use Spotify playlist because it's got to peer, so because you want to get energized. So I'll say, I don't know what we're in now, April 2021, and I'll have, because maybe after that period of time, a couple of months, it loses its impact. So yeah, just a little playlist that gets you going. Now you're going to warm up, and then you're going to do your HIIT session, your PHA session, you basically your bodyweight session. Now my suggestion to you is to, and the last video will show you like a level 4 full body workout, the principles around it, what you were looking to get out of it, and basically ultimately you want to go from exercise to exercise with basically no pause, minimal pause or no pause. That's the ultimate aim. So that's your next move. You do your HIIT session, and then if you so desire, you're going to do, I would suggest, a 3 muscle emphasis. You might call it hypertrophy set, like a muscle growth session, or if it's strength or it's a power, but it's a 3 muscle emphasis, which I'll touch on, and then you're gonna do a stretch. So let's say you're not gonna do, let's say you're entry level 2 and you do a big exercise. Just the thing to be wary of is you could do that and then just lie on the couch and watch TV for 24 hours. Sometimes that might be okay when the body needs it, but generally just the best way to kind of avoid that is, because you're inside a lot, is to keep an eye on your step count. That is a good, so just to make sure you still keep your step count up. You don't want to be very sedated. You want to be moving still. So then you're going to do a stretch as long as you want, as long as it feels good. Do a nice stretch to finish off your exercise program for the day. So I'm going to take you through a big muscle each day on how you would adapt it, and I'm going to start from entry level all the way up to level 4, based around the idea of difficulty. So if we were to say a level, somebody maybe over 70, somebody's really out of shape, maybe immobile, maybe very much overweight, or some arthritis, some issues that you're quite immobile. The best leg exercise, really, the starting point for your leg exercise is just a basic squat. And there's 2 things that we know about the legs, really, is that they work in isolation. thinking about walking, running, you work off one leg in a lot of sports or activities or in general life. So it's something we've got to play into. And the ultimate aim for the leg for me is power. So there's a lot of crossover between endurance, hypertrophy to make the leg bigger, make the leg muscles sustain over a long period is endurance. The pyramid then might go to muscle size, then it might go to muscle strength, then it might go to power. But if you train power, because it's at the end of the pyramid, you're going to get a crossover of the other stuff as well. But ultimately, this is think about the gym. It's a good one to think about this one because, you know, yes, having massive squat plates and doing really strenuous strength work on your legs is fine, but what I can only think of perhaps the ruck in rugby that really uses, and that's an isolated strength impact. If you think about all sports, all activities, it's power you require. If it's running, every sport pretty much involves, even martial arts, power. Football, kicking, anything, tennis, running, it's power that you're after with the legs. So I think unless you're doing a Mr. Universe strongman workout or as a particular reason, I believe you should always look to power for the legs. So on that, right, so you're going to start with the basic squat because that gives us a really, this is not bodybuilding, we're not going to go too much into things like calves, although we will cover that in a dynamic workout. So ultimately the key with the squat is to push with the chest out and sit into it in that position as opposed to that position. So we're going to push out and we want to just do this basic squat. So that, the standing up, that is your entry. So you might need to start with a chair, and I'll vary this, so you might need to start with a chair just to get down to the seated position. You might need to rest then, and then we're going to try and use as little momentum as possible. We're going to stand up. And then I've shown before how we take that to a power exercise. So we seat slowly, then again we might see we're going to load up here, and we'll do this in front of a wall, we'll explode up. Hips forward, if you can get to that stage. So we start off with just a simple squat, and then you might get to a stage where you don't need and you can still explode up. So we're looking at power, if we can get there. Even over 70s immobile, eventually you can look to reach that. So the second thing I then want to look at then is the idea that legs work on their own. So then we're going to work the single leg squat. So, and this is also a good postural assessment move. So if you can single leg squat, you can look whether your adductor or your abductors are weak, depending if your leg goes in or out. So basically same principle, legs slightly out, legs in front of you. Use this for balance, however it feels good, doesn't really matter. But you want to, again, sit down, low as you can, and up. And this is good, again, if you're older, because what you're working, you're working these little micro muscles around the ankles and the knees to keep in balance. And we've got to, in terms of our neural pathways, we've got to keep stimulating those. So single leg squat, up and down. Okay, that's your next level up. That could go into like level 2. So then we're going to implement the idea of power. Yeah, so we're going to work the squat. But this time, you've seen me do this before potentially, we're going to do a squat with a big high jump at the end and then a plyometric jump, a bounce, a straight leg jump. So the idea here is to enact those muscles, those type 1 muscles that engage the plyometric explosive exercise power of the legs. So that's explosive, and that one's equally important, the second one. So we go bounce, 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 bounce. So you can see everything around the legs, really, power is got a lot to do with jumping. So then, last level here is going to be the single leg explosion. So we're going to go pretty much the same thing, however you feel comfortable. We're going to drop, and then we're going to explode. Or we can have our leg behind us if we want. And we're going to explode. We're going to make sure we can do that on both legs. So that takes us to the progression, thinking about getting your training in, entry level, all the way up to level 4, which you're going to aim to do and how you're going to progress it. Okay, more muscles to follow, thank you.